Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Qredo, as I think this cryptocurrency has a lot of potential, and so they have a lot of institutional backing that we're going to be going over through the video. And so they are backed by Coinbase. They are also have a partnership with Metamask, which is one of the largest, most well-known wallets out there. And they also have a partnership with Nexo, and they are starting to work with El Salvador with Bitcoin as well. And so I think this is a cryptocurrency that could do very well going forward. And so they are focusing on cross-chain liquidity protocol that powers institutional traders to securely move digital assets, and this could be a safety feature for institutional and retail investors as well. And so this is going to help with liquidity for institutional investors, and so I think what they're doing is very positive. This is the first cryptocurrency that I have found that is focusing on this, and so they are in a very niche market. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know that you're enjoying this content. And so as you can see, this is currently trading at $7.77 with a market cap of $250 million. And so we can see this symbol here. This is showing that the market cap has not been confirmed, and this is because the circulating supply has not been confirmed. However, on Twitter they have addressed this, where they are stating that they have 30 million coins that are in the circulating supply right now, and this represents about 1.5% of the total supply. And so we can double check this by looking at the fully diluted market cap, which takes into account the price and the max supply. And so if you multiply those two together, you will get about 15.5 billion, and then 1.5% of that is just about 235 million. And so this is pretty close to the current market cap right now, and so I definitely think this has a lot of potential going forward. This definitely could go over $1 billion market cap, and I think this has a lot of potential just because it has so many large institutions backing this cryptocurrency. And so I did mention Qredo in my Discord chat as well at $5.98 as a cryptocurrency that I am focusing on and might be taking a position in. And so later on I did mention to them that I bought a position in Qredo, and now we're up over 30%. So if you're interested in joining that, there is a link down below in Linktree to Patreon, and you can join for just $3 a month. It is a limited time offer, and so if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. And so let's take a deeper look into what Qredo is focusing on. And so they are focusing on solving blockchain's billion-dollar problem. And so what is that exactly? And so that is the problem of private keys. And so cold storage and hot wallets create a centralized vulnerability in a decentralized system with significant knock-on effects. Struggles to secure private keys in this way have led to billion-dollar losses in siloed liquidity, with assets locked away in wallets where they cannot be deployed in the digital asset ecosystem. And so this is a huge issue with cryptocurrencies. People do not take their private keys as serious as they should. And so if you're ever asked to write down a phrase for a wallet, it is very important to make sure you write that down somewhere and store that somewhere very safe and secure. And so at the same time, the explosion of new cryptocurrencies creates even more silos, leaving liquidity split between hundreds of trading venues and thousands of different blockchains. And so making matters worse, the institutions that could dramatically deepen liquidity are left on the sidelines, unable to justify the enormous counterparty risk posed by the capital requirements of unregulated exchanges. And so they are focusing on a problem here of people losing private keys as they are the only holder of those. And then they're also focusing on a liquidity problem, especially for institutions that are going to be placing much larger buys. This is an issue as there's many places to buy these different cryptocurrencies, and they may have different liquidity pools. And so I'd also like to take a look at this article here quick as well. And so this is stating that a South African man loses 1 million Bitcoin after losing their private key. And so this happens all the time. There's a lot of Bitcoin out there that is lost because people do not know their private key anymore. And so what is Qredo going to do for this as a solution? And so they are focusing on something called MPC. And so private keys are typically stored in one place, either in a hot wallet connected to the internet, such as Metamask, or in a cold storage offline, and that is an example of a ledger. And so in the terminology of the system design, this creates a single point of failure that is an irresistible target for hackers. And so hackers could hack into your hot wallet, or you could lose that private key, or even with cold storage, you could misplace the ledger and you could lose your cryptocurrencies. And so this is what Qredo is focusing on avoiding. And so using a threshold signature scheme, it is possible to create and distribute independently held shares in a private key such that no single person controls the private key entirely. And so this collective decentralized digital signature is presented to the underlying blockchain network and authenticates transactions just as a traditional private key would have done. And so MPC is on the verge of becoming a household name. And so big players such as PayPal, BNY Mellon, and Coinbase have invested in the technology, recognizing the significant role that it can play in hardening the security by splitting private key material between multiple computers. And so, like I stated, there's a lot of institutional investors that are looking into this. They are working with El Salvador. They have also partnered with Metamask, and then they're working with PayPal, BNY Mellon, and Coinbase here. And so all these huge institutions would not be interested in this technology if this was not something that they're going to be looking into going forward. And so I could see this being implemented into Metamask or even being implemented into Coinbase as well. And so these definitely could get a lot of attention here moving forward. And so in addition to the companies mentioned here in this article, they are working with many other names as well that are very large in the cryptocurrency space. And so they are working with Celsius here. They are also working with Wintermute. And we can see here they are working with Coinbase and Nexo. And then they are also partnering with Metamask as well. And so they have announced they're going to start working with them. And then they're also going to be working with El Salvador as well, which has announced that they're going to be accepting Bitcoin for payment. And so they're going to work on the future of banking in El Salvador. And they're going to be hosting this event from November 19th through December 5th. And so they're going to have tech leaders, Open Bank Project, API 3, Qredo, and Sovereign invite the open source community to help develop state-of-the-art infrastructure for the future banking system of El Salvador. And so from November 19th, teams of Web 2.0 and 3.0 coders, designers, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers will spend 2 weeks collaborating virtually to create working prototypes for their ideas to build out the new infrastructure that will redesign the future of financial services in El Salvador. And so if they have success with this in El Salvador and come up with a good solution for a bank in digital assets in El Salvador, I think this will be applied to many other countries going forward as they continue to work with Qredo. And so one last thing I would like to take a look at here as well is Qredo is also looking at the big picture. They have realized that the metaverse is going to be something of the future, especially because Facebook has changed their name to Meta. And so they're starting to look at that as well and what they can do to be helpful. And so they understand that the metaverse needs an interoperable infrastructure going forward to be successful. And so they do explain down here what the issue may be as they continue to develop all these different metaverses that are not interoperable with each other. And so each mini blockchain economy of the metaverse will need a level of technical interoperability, allowing users to transfer tokenized property such as currencies, skins, or any other form of digital assets from one place to another. And so we will see the potential of the metaverse limited by siloed infrastructure that prevents the seamless cross-chain movement of virtual property. And so if everyone were just to build their own metaverse all independent of one another and there was no cross-chain interoperability, then what would really be the case of using a metaverse? There would have to be one metaverse that everybody uses. And so as the co-founder states here, without a solution to address fragmentation, the ultimate growth and potential of crypto markets will be capped by the size of silos needed to manage and protect them. And so they realize that there is a need for cross-chain interoperability. And so if this is done right, the infrastructure will make the metaverse not just an online environment, but a movement that will see people start to hold more of their wealth in digital world than in the physical world. Until then, at Qredo, we will be watching the evolution of the metaverse closely to ensure our infrastructure can provide the custody and settlement functionality needed to underpin this virtual future. And so they understand that this is potential, and they're already looking ahead to see what they need to do to help with this cross-chain interoperability. And so I think this is very positive to see as well. They are looking into the metaverse industry. They're already partnered with Coinbase. They're working with Metamask. They're also focusing on El Salvador as well to help them with the banking of digital currencies. So I think this cryptocurrency has a lot of potential moving forward. They also have their chief operating officer that is a former Binance executive. And so they have a lot of experience in the cryptocurrency space, and I think this could do very well going forward. Thanks so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below the video. I'd be interested to know, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.